So here's Peter, Acts 2:14. He stands up with the 12 and he starts to speak and he explains the gospel, right? But listen, here's the thing. He stood up. I mean, so Alan, you and David, both of you are like this. I just see you in this so clearly. It could very well say, and then Alan stood up with Rashawn, David, and Brett with the four. I mean, you were able to stand up because of the encouragement that you get from this small group. You stood up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think it's good stuff.
So many people, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna read a book about it, right? Or I'm gonna go to a Christian concert, or I'm gonna listen to a sermon. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do, but at some point, your following of Jesus has to be more than just read a book and listen to a sermon. If you're really going to follow, eventually, you're going to stand up. You're going to stand up and you're going to speak. You're going to be compelled by the Spirit of God in you, if in fact He is in you, right? You're going to stand up and want to share. And so, listen, this same Peter, get this. This is so amazing. The same Peter that said, I'm going to die for you, right? And then he turned around and he denied that he even knew Jesus to the little girl, right? Mm-hmm. The same Peter said, I'm going to die for you. And the same Peter said that, well, I never knew you. The same Peter that said, command me to come out on the water with you, and then he did, and then he began to sink. This is the same Peter who's now standing up sharing the gospel, explaining who Jesus was. This same Jesus that you crucified, he's sharing the gospel with them. And I read that and I think about, the same Alan that I was the officiant at his wedding, and then him and his wife moved to Colorado, and then they've come back. This same Alan has now, come on, man, right? This same Alan who has been through so many things that you've been through has now stood up and is leading a small group. Did I misstate anything?
That's it. Small groups.
Well, yeah, because y'all do them for...
We finished the study, but
right.
Maybe we'll start something new sometime soon.
But you did it, didn't you? So this...
It was pretty cool experience.
This same Alan that has been through so much and made some wrong decisions is now standing.
Trying to.
Yeah. Yeah. The same David that's been through so much. He's here this morning. Met with us. Right? The same Rashawn who's been through some stuff is choosing to follow Jesus. And this is why I say, it's good. We could talk about, speaking in tongues, but my gosh, look at all the other good that is there besides just a sermon or a study on speaking in tongues. Here's this guy, Peter, who was a stinking coward, but now he's standing up. So something happened. Something clicked for him. I don't think it was really like a click, like just turning on the light switch, as much as it was a slow realization of who Jesus was and interacting with Jesus all this time. And now Peter's like, I remember all those things that he said to me. Feed my. Do you love me, Peter? Yeah. Feed my sheep. Do you love me, Peter? Yeah. Okay. Feed my lambs. Do you love me, Peter? You know I do. And so all that is coming back to him, and now he's just slowly standing. That's the way it is for most of us. We're slowly learning. We're slowly being convinced. That's huge, man. I'm slowly being convinced. I'm being convinced because I'm staying in the process with my small group and my discipleship relationship, ongoing healthy relationship. I'm staying in that, and I'm slowly standing just like Peter did. I think Paul certainly, I don't say I know Paul was an exception to that. He was blinded on the road to Damascus, and all his learning about who Jesus was poured into him by the Spirit of God during that time, that concentrated time. And so we could say, boy, I wish I could learn quicker. Well, Paul was an exception to the rule. For most of us, the rule is the slow, steady process of learning.